Hi there, welcome. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope you're having a gorgeous day or night so far. We're going to start today's reading with the Heal Yourself reading cards. I haven't used these in a while, so let's dive in. This reading's timeless, collective. See what feels like it resonates. Always follow and trust the divine connection, direct connection in you, to God, to source, to the universe, because the answer is in you. And try to make balanced decisions between logic and intuition, so your decisions are sound. They're based in love and for the highest, greatest good of everyone. So we're all uplifted in love. Let's see what God, source, Holy Spirit, Christ consciousness, our higher selves, angels, and energies of love have for the highest, greatest good of all. You're healing in dream time. You're getting some signs when you're sleeping, tapping into I'm getting like things that you're not maybe addressing during the day. Maybe some of you even have prophetic dreams. I do feel like you should definitely start a dream journal. It's interesting. Last night, I actually did listen to this like repeating meditation thing on lucid dreaming, astral travel, and I don't know, jumping the timeline matrix or something like that. And maybe you're doing lucid dreaming. Maybe you're listening to some meditational guidance at night. Maybe it's just some, Zen frequency kind of music. I'm also seeing with this, maybe some of you, if you're having trouble sleeping lately, maybe it's even listening to like a rainstorm or white noise, having a fan in your room. I feel like some of you are having trouble sleeping. I feel like maybe even some of you aren't remembering your dreams. You're dreaming. You might not be remembering it, but you can train yourself to remember your dreams more vividly. Maybe even just do a little meditative prayer that you're going to remember your dreams before you go to sleep. Maybe some of you remember all of your dreams. I'm also seeing that something slips back kind of midday. You're like, whoa, I had a dream about that last night, but you remember it after the fact or later. If some of you do know how to lucid dream or like astral travel, that is such an amazing thing. It almost makes you like excited to go to bed because, I don't know, it's like you get to create your own world or fly like Superman or Supergirl. Just as a question, if you can control your dreams, or if you feel like you can't, what would you do? Because there's no limits on what you can do in dreamland. What would you do? Would you fly? Would you go to a magical world that you create? Would you be with a certain person? Maybe put that in the comments. Maybe that's just something for you to think about when you're conscious. Also, maybe you connect to tigers or something about that beautiful tiger here. Or fairies. Maybe I should use the fairy deck today. Let's use this as a stepping stone to the next decks of cards that we use. Let me grab the animal oracle, the spirit animal, and a fairy deck for you. And we're going to continue in a moment. All right, let's continue with the dreams card. Also, because it's a 3, it's the energy of creation, creativity. There's also something that has to do with transparency, maybe being vulnerable, because behind the strength of that tiger, both that fairy's wings and dress are translucent, see-through. So maybe you're even getting to see through a situation that felt difficult. I just heard a conundrum or a puzzle to be solved, and you're getting clues in dreamland. I even see with that, it could be daydreams. What do you find yourself, what do you find yourself seeing when you are daydreaming? I feel like there's a certain place or a person or something that you do keep going back to. If you, have repeating, I don't know, I feel like it's a magical, imaginary place that you've created. Going back to maybe look at the details of that, or maybe make it more detailed. I actually think that you should have a, like I don't know why I'm thinking of like Happy Gilmore a little, like your happy place. So if you had to design the most perfect, either exciting or tranquil place, what would it look like? Outside, inside, you know, nature, would it be in a building? What would the weather be like? Is there furniture or not? Are there animals there? What are you wearing? Think about all that stuff, and just, I feel like you should just kind of put your imagination cap on a little bit and see what you can create. I feel like you should create your own little happy space to go to when you just need to, like, I'm going to go to my happy space, you know. And I don't know, maybe you never even thought about that. So get creative here. I did grab the, what is this? Magical messages from the fairies. So let's see what the magical messages from the fairies have to say to be helpful for you today. What is the most prominent message helpful for the collective that's watching this reading? Please and thank you. I keep hearing thunderstorm. So maybe there is something about a storm, or something being cleansed. Like, I personally, I love thunderstorms. Some people don't, but I feel like I sleep like a baby when the rain is like, I just heard a tin roof. Maybe you have a tin roof, or it's the sound of rain on a tin roof. I don't know why I heard that. I see like a barn now. So maybe some of you have a barn. Maybe that has to do with your happy place. What do the fairies have to say as far as a important message for the collective? Your desire is within reach. This is telling you that maybe you do need to pay attention to your daydreams, or what you think about, or what you are creating in your mind, the inner connection to the outer world. There's something that you desire, and it's right there. You know, it's almost like yours for the taking, or it's right around the corner. Believe in, I just heard, believe in the impossible. Believe it is possible. Have faith. Hey, as everything is working out in your favor. So maybe you did feel like there was a storm, or a puzzle, or a conundrum, or you didn't know how something could possibly work out. It looks like you're getting help from the divine. Maybe there is something that is just out of reach, but maybe it's out of reach for a reason. Maybe you have to see what you can work on, or what's within your vicinity, or in your environment, what you can do. I don't know why I see you practicing something. I mean, this little fairy's playing like the little, it's like a wood fife. That was very specific. Have faith as everything is working out in your favor. Your desire is in reach. There's something about look at her cool green shoes. So also they're violets. So maybe it is crown chakra energy, but I feel like there's something that has to do with your heart chakra that needs to be grounded. Maybe you do play an instrument. It's time to practice something. Maybe there's something even happening behind a closed doors for a purpose, for a reason, especially if it has anything to do with anybody else's free will, and or somehow those puzzle pieces, I feel like on the outer spectrum, have to be put together. And I feel like I see like I don't know. I see a puzzle you're working on in the center, and then I see the outer corners, or the outer section has to be put together by either somebody else or helped by the divine, or has to kind of come together to click into place with what you are working on. That was kind of interesting. I brought let's go to the animals. I brought 2 different animal decks out. This is the secret language of the animal. So let's get you one secret language from the animal kingdom message on dreams, your desire, is right within. For some of you, you have something that you truly wish for, that you dream of, and all you have to do is go get it. So maybe for some of you, you're in this energy of self-doubt, or you don't think you're deserving of something. I feel like for some of you, it is right there, and you're hesitating on trying, or hesitating on stepping up to bat, or hesitating on giving something a go, or even just taking one step in a direction to try. You're never gonna know unless you try. And for some of you, maybe you desire something, but it is not quite in, I just heard hindsight, but that's something behind you. Maybe it is something you left behind. Maybe you have to turn around, look at something a different way. Let's get one animal message. What is an animal message helpful today for the collective? Wow, you got a lot. You got a whole pile that flew down. So I guess they're all coming through. Maybe each of you connect. Look at how many fell. Maybe each of you connect to different animals. Apparently the animal kingdom definitely has something to say to you. So a blue whale, that always makes me think of music. Oh, it's so big. Maybe you're breaching the surface, singing your own song, swimming to your own beat. Maybe it's diving into that ocean of emotion, or I did hear pod, and it does say unity, resonance, magnificence, and mastery. Maybe you are starting to practice something or becoming a master. That made me think of maybe some of you are going back to school, getting a PhD, becoming a doctor. I'm even seeing education that's not typical, so maybe even an apprentice. Maybe it's just practicing something so you get to be the best you can be. Blue whale, and that's, these have numbers, it's number 2. So you have progression so far with a 2 and a 3. You have another ocean, aquatic spirit animal or fish here. You have the jellyfish. There's something about being flexible. There's your transparency. I did see that with this. So maybe it is about being transparent, really going with the flow. I'm even seeing that the jellyfish has that sting. So maybe you felt like something was, I just thought of it like the singer. The only song that came through is what, the sweetest thing. Oh, the sweetest thing. That's a really pretty song. Orange blossom jellyfish. I just thought of the orange blossom special. Maybe some of you fiddle. I won a fiddling contest when I was 7 years old, playing a fiddle-in tune in the orange blossom special. Maybe some of you do something at like the country fair or a carnival. Maybe it's even like I'm getting like a local farmer's market or something like that. Maybe some of you sell your product or promote your business, or there's somebody you're going to run into. Maybe because I saw a contest, it's about practicing. Maybe even if it's not your instrument or whatever it is, maybe it's baking pies, something so that maybe it's not knowing how to bake every pie. It's just that one specialty you have, you know, even if it's just that one song that you play really well. I feel like there is something you can master. There's your transparency. And maybe you did feel like something was kind of a sting, but I feel like now I see like that honey. I feel like something's going to feel more soothing. I keep going back to your like tranquil dream place. Transparency, sensitivity, surrender, letting go, what's not in your control, not in your control, and illumination. So maybe it is about your light, like internally, spiritually getting brighter. Because if the jellyfish is way down there in that scary ocean, they create their own illumination, you know, to see what they need to see around them. They're not relying on somebody else's light or something else's light. What else you got? The orangutan. Oh my goodness. I don't know why I just went back to like being a kid. On Disney, there used to be this show called Dumbo's Circus. And I think there was an orangutan I can't remember his name, but I know he played the calliope. What a weird instrument. What a weird memory. Maybe if some of you remember that, definitely like give me like a, hey, I remember that. You know, put something in the comments for me. Orangutan is, it's cute. It's laughter. So maybe you're laughing more, lightening something up by the energy of laughing, curiosity, patience, and playing. Allowing yourself more time to play. Curiosity. Also, if you don't know what brings you that big joy, you know, what gets you excited, that enthusiasm, I always feel like it starts with that first step is what makes you curious? You know, what sparks a little curiosity inside of you to go down the rabbit hole of more information? Because sometimes it's not that first thing that makes you curious. It's just that first little clue that takes you down the right path to find your thing. Let's continue. You got a lot here. Oh, you got this python. So maybe you are shedding the old you, shedding your old skin, outgrowing something, especially if it was constricting you or creating any kind of restriction to your growth or your flexibility. It's number 17, which is like the star, which goes back to a dream or a wish come true. Destiny, energy, and healing. Discernment, detachment, transformation, and renewal. It's telling you to use your discernment, your, you know, gut feeling on someone or something in an environment, whether that's a gut feeling to do something or to not. What's right for you and what is. What maybe was right for you, but maybe not feeling so right anymore. And it is telling you both, you have this energy of surrender and detachment. So if there is a dream or there is something you really, really want bad, it's kind of a conundrum where it's exactly when you release the need to control it that you give that manifestation energy and spirit the space for it to come in how it should. Because a lot of times it's not going to come in that little box that you know, put it in. It has to always be bigger than that. You also have the giant panda. Maybe you connect to pandas. Innocence, gentleness, harmony, and balance. There is an energy here that is the balance of yin and yang or black and white. Maybe it's not about being black and white, but it's about coloring outside of the lines here. They're holding the bamboo. Maybe it's that flexibility as well with the bamboo. Nourishment. Maybe you connect to the east, or you're going, I don't know, maybe, I mean, it could be the zoo, but maybe you're going somewhere where pandas are actually natural in nature, and then you have this energy of air. Interesting, because this is not an actual animal. Maybe you're an air sign, or you're really in your head. Maybe if you're in your head, you have to look into that logical / creative side, which goes back to either music or the very beginning, meditation, because both of those things fire up both noggins of the old brain. And it is alignment in your thoughts, having a thoughtful approach to something, or being really, I heard thoughtless, being mindful for when you could have been thoughtless, or maybe it's being more thoughtful on an approach, or paying attention to the words you speak or tell yourself. Rose is trying to get attention down here. We're multitasking. It's intention and it's breath. I am getting for some of you, if you felt like you were kind of constricted in an environment, or I don't know, you felt like you couldn't breathe, you know, like restrained somehow, you need to get out of an environment, or just give yourself a good 5 minutes to go to your happy place in the bathroom and just breathe. Pay attention to your breath. That's not just air. It's life force, energy. It's prana. Chi. So maybe there is a connection you do have to Eastern philosophy or heritage. Thought, alignment, breath, and intention. So I brought that other animal deck. I didn't expect how many came through. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 came through. Maybe it's balance and love. Let's go to this one and get animal whispers for you guys. And those numbers are, let me see her. Can you see her here? She's trying to get up. 40, 19, 38, 35, and 17. You can see her a little here. And 2. Oh, I think she does need my attention. Maybe she has to go outside for a moment. Let me take her out and I'll be right back. Let's go to the animal whispers and let's see how many come out. We're going to try for 1, but whatever spirit would like you to know, we'll go with. We'll go with the flow. So what is an extra animal? Whispers, guidance, message, that one for today. Well, lions and tigers. So you definitely, for some of you, connect to those big cat energy, the feline, well, lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. Maybe it's even a connection to, is that the Wizard of Oz? Is that right? The lion. Maybe it's having positive, prideful energy, being proud of yourself, proud of somebody else, proud of anything that you went through that maybe was really hard and you got through it. You grew because of it. It maybe also some of you have Leo in your chart. You're connecting to a Leo. Be lion-hearted in your endeavors. I am getting that this is about being loyal to the truth of your heart, the truth of your soul. I hear a brand new path. I feel like some of you are going along a path and I see another one, and the other path looks like it's, like I see that jellyfish. It looks like it's like glowing for you. And I feel like the one, it's interesting, the one you're on is like, where is that? Kind of feels black and white, colorless, drab and gray. And I don't know, it's like you're resisting that one that feels like it's glowing, maybe because it's different. But I feel like you should head towards the glow, because I feel like that connects somehow to your glow, your aura, your energy. And if it's about maybe confidence or being comfortable, I feel like that confidence, that comfortable energy, and maybe even that creative flow is going to start to grow the more and more steps that you take along that illuminated path. Because I'm getting that it's like lit up for you. It's like a knowing that you have, but I feel like some of you are resisting something. So yeah, let's see. Let's go. I did bring the fairy tarot. Let's jump to the tarot and get some messages on what's going on. Let's get more specific for you. So tell us what the collective needs to know. What is the overall situation? Let's look at what the current energy is for you today, or where to focus your energy that would be the most helpful. Where would be the best place for the collective to focus their energy on what is happening currently today? Please and thank you. What's going on? That would be helpful to know. You got a King of Winter. So you have the, well, you did have the air sign coming through. So it does look like you're either connecting to, thinking about, or the King of Winter is thinking about you. This is, I feel like it's a really prominent energy. So air sign could be Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. It does not have to be a sun sign. It could be anyone, anywhere in someone's chart, or just somebody is embodying this energy of thinking. Maybe this alignment has to do with the head and the heart, because that's when this king really shines. There is something where this king is, I don't even know what kind of bird that is. It's a hawk, it's an owl. I don't know what kind of bird that is. It's beautiful though. And this king is out there in this forest of snow. There's something about silence. I just thought of the song Silence by Sarah McLachlan. Oh, it's such a good song. It's like her like the first like club song that came out. Oh my gosh, I can remember being out and hearing that song in New York City and getting so excited. I think she does it with Delirium. Witness me, witness me. I am outside. If you don't know that song, or if you just haven't heard it in a long time, maybe give it a listen. Heaven holds a sense of wonder, and I wanted to believe that I get caught up when the rage in me subsides. So maybe there is something about paying attention to how you feel, letting out emotions of your truth, but something's going to subside. Get advice from somebody professional and objective. Public speaking or unemotional relationships. Maybe this is, if this is somebody who's just unemotional, stoic, stern, not getting, you do have the energy of detachment. Maybe I feel like there's something you need to look at. If there is an energy of detachment or somebody was just not in it, in their heart, I feel like there's something that, because I'm getting that curiosity, that enthusiasm, that warmth of your heart, that beat of your soul, where it feels like that's that neon spiritual path you should go instead of that stoic, boring, I don't know why I see, like, I just saw a really weird vision of almost like a city that's just like empty. Like one of those weird, like apocalypse movies or something like that, where there's just nobody there. It's almost like, or I see the opposite. I see somebody that's like around a lot of people, but they feel completely alone, or they don't feel like there's any kind of connection to what they're doing or who they're around. So maybe that's what's changing. You know, look at where you find that true like soul connection in your life, and where you're just stoic and a little too detached. Also, if there's an area where you feel attached or connected, but you wish for something to be severed or a little more expanse and freedom, then maybe you need to be the one to disconnect to the wrong sources or the wrong environments or the wrong partnerships. King of Winter. It could also be where somebody just has an objective perspective. They have no attachment to this side of the story or this side of the story, this person's perspective or this person's perspective. And maybe that's a place to get some wise advice, because it is somebody who's fair-minded. It says knowledgeable, experienced, but unemotional. I do feel like maybe there's somebody who is overly emotional as well. Like the opposite, where they let their emotions completely rule them with no like balanced, grounded, logical approach at all. And that can also, that's an imbalance. That can get somebody down the wrong path or overreact to a certain situation. There's something where you have to be in tune with the flow of your emotions, but also a sense of inner control. But I feel like that control is not overly controlled to have control on something. I feel like it's like a balance. If this is somebody upside down, they're so cold. That's such a rough personality, because they're just always detached. I hear unavailable, not gentle, very strict, stern, stoic, cold. Almost like they don't care at all about someone else's feelings. Let's see, why is the King of Winter here? I feel like this is kind of a weird example, because when I think of like, I don't know, like I do think of kindness with the King of Winter, but I also think of somebody who's like really good with people. You know, I always see them as kind of having an interesting or unusual or big personality somehow, where they're really good communicators. But that king has to be open-minded, open to new experiences and information. Otherwise, they get that tunnel vision thing going on, or they get stuck over analyzing something. Clarify why the King of Winter is here? Why is the King of Winter here? What's going on with the King of Swords? Needs to tap into that creative side. The King of Swords needs to go down that neon path that's glowing, because this is actively waiting. Maybe this is also somebody you are actively waiting for. In the meantime, if you're waiting, don't sit around doing nothing and restrict yourself down your own path, because, you know, maybe something is just within reach. Maybe you need to be the one to walk down that path to reach something. I always see the Three of Spring as getting out of the castle, getting out of the kingdom, getting up from the couch, getting out of your car, making it to the airport, getting on the boat, getting on the plane, and you're on that journey. You're finally like on that road. You have to have that creative approach along the way to, you know, maybe keep changing your plans if the weather gets weird. It's past the, wow, I got a good idea, and that masculine energy that you have to do something, and then you're like, I'm going to make that call. I'm going to ask out that person. I'm going to start to do that project. You know, I'm going to book the ticket. And then if it's upside down, it's where I always see it as like you pack the suitcase, you're there, you're a little late, so you never get to the airport. You sit there staring at the ticket you bought, and you're like, man, I don't know, something, maybe it wouldn't have been a good trip, or maybe I shouldn't have gone anyway, or maybe if I was there now, what would I be doing? But you're not there. So this is getting there and knowing it's about the journey, not necessarily the destination. You know, what if let's just go to the airplane. What if you are on your way somewhere and you have like a 3-day layover because of really weird weather, you know, and you're in an airport, they have to get you a hotel. But what if the inspiration of your life is something you see in that, you know, that side road, that detour, that delay, that layover, or you meet the person of your dreams there? Or that gives you that perfect break, that oasis, you know, that, I don't know, brings something into your life, or you discover something about yourself, or gives you a great, like, chance to just rest. I feel like there's something in the in-between that's important. Don't get frustrated if something gets delayed. I also see that as really creative energy. Also, there's something that you're doing and it's connecting to the crown chakra, or that, I don't know, both of these fairies, look at this. 2 different decks, but they both have that purple and blue feather. So maybe it's about your crown chakra or your throat chakra open up, speaking your truth, step-by-step approach. It's telling you, plan your next steps with an eye on the long term. So look at the step you're on, or a couple steps ahead, but have that dream, you know, that vision within reach. You know that you are reaching for something even bigger than that next step. And it's telling you to have patience. There are more good things to come. Satisfaction from a job well done. But if you get to the end, you reach a goal, is that it? And now you're not going to have another goal? Or are you going to reach out and, you know, expand somehow from that last stepping stone that you hit? Let's get another one. Tell us more about these plans, this journey. Yeah, I feel like this is somebody that can plan, but definitely needs to be, I don't know, I'm getting like a little more daring to act upon those plans, and a little more flexible if those plans have a rain date or something needs to be adjusted. And maybe these plans have something to do with love. A brand new start where your heart gets to open up, offering that big chalice of love. And, you know, sometimes it's accepted, sometimes it's not. But I feel like there's something either you want to say yes to, or somebody else recognizes when this Ace of Summer, this Ace of Cups comes through. It's not just a chalice. It's a chalice that is a gift from God. Here you go. You said you were bored. You said you were unfulfilled. You said you didn't have anything that you were really like, you know, drawn to, that just overwhelmed your heart with this loving energy. Here it is. The divine is giving it to you. Do you want to take a sip and see? You know, if you take that cup and you stick it on your shelf, you're like, yeah, I'll get to that later. Maybe I'll take a sip. Maybe it's going to dry up. Maybe somebody else is going to see that beautiful cup on the shelf and be like, wow, that seems like a gift. Maybe I'll take a sip of that. You don't want it? I'll take it. So this is getting past the ace, getting past the beginning, saying yes to the dance. You have this dove of peace. This is also your psychic intuition opening up more. Trust it. You're getting guidance for a reason. Maybe this is somebody else starting to trust their intuition more instead of maybe always being just logical. Because I feel like there's something in the unseen, in the ether. Even if you can't see it, doesn't mean it's real. Just because you can't see radio waves doesn't mean they don't exist. So there was also something about this lotus blossoming out of the muck. Maybe you are, maybe there's, it kind of looks like that, I don't even know, but I kind of see a lion back there, like a fountain. It's also that, I just heard the fountain of youth. If you are playing like a kid, if you are, where's your thing that said laughing and having fun and dancing your ass off, you know, giving something a go, following your joy, that youthful energy does make you feel young. It's telling you here, whatever this is opening your heart to love. So if the love is what was closed off, love is where you're supposed to go or what you're supposed to follow. And if this does not have to do with another person, this is you loving you, self-love. This is you loving what you do, starting something new where even if it's just a little class you take at the gym on Saturday that you look forward to, that's your thing. You know, this is the thing that when you talk about what you love to do, you inspire others. You give others permission to follow their, where's your dreams? Their dreams, or that their wishes, dreams come true, are within reach. I don't know why is there a song? Who knows what miracles? What is that, like Whitney Houston and Mariah Carey? And that just gave me goosies. I think it's from like a Disney movie too. Oh my gosh, I'm getting goosies from that song. I haven't heard, and I know I'm not getting the title exactly. Open your heart to love. It's the beginning of a new intimate relationship or rebirth of a current one. It's the awakening of your psychic abilities. I feel like some of you, because I hear slumber, and then you started with these dreams. I feel like if some of you believed you weren't psychic, that's bullshit. You are. We're all psychic. We all have this capability inside of us. Some of us come more in tune with it. You know, that antenna is just a little more tuned to the right frequency. And sometimes you have to be the one to practice and change that frequency, change your frequency. Believe it is possible. Allow it in. You can't force it to happen. And open up. I feel like some of you are, I actually feel like maybe you closed it off as a kid and maybe it's coming through now with whatever age you are, because you're going to handle it differently, or you're going to have a more conscious approach to the unconscious, to the hidden realm. Do you hear my little girl out there? I think she's ready to come in. We're going to look at your last card because this is beautiful. I'll be right back. This is the awakening of psychic abilities, or spiritual epiphanies. Those ideas that glow different, that burn brighter in your soul than anything else. And whatever this is, it's taking you to this abundance of love, a brand new beginning, and maybe a marriage, maybe a divine partnership, maybe just those snapshots, those beautiful moments in your life that you look back and you feel so freaking grateful that you said yes, that you got to have that experience, that it wasn't just in your mind or a fantasy, that you got to live it. The four spring is the four rods. It's beautiful. It sometimes is considered a twin flame, but you're not there in the castle anymore. You left the castle and you're dancing in that field of abundance. Also, she has that transparency. So maybe there is a feminine energy that was naturally more transparent, or it's tapping into that feminine side of you to be vulnerable, which is, vulnerability is not easy. A lot of times it's taught that it's not strong at all, and yet it is one of the most powerful, strong things you can do. But it's having discernment. Where's your Python? It's having discernment. It's not always appropriate to, you know, spew all the personal beans to just anyone. A lot of times it's having the gut feeling or the discernment on where you feel it would be cherished, where you feel safe. And I do feel like there is a certain person coming in, or you already know where you feel safe to open up to. Maybe just one person. I know she was probably loud, but I got to keep it in there. I don't want to like chop that little bit, but maybe a special delivery is going to arrive. I got this like little desk so I can sit and work, you know, on my desktop and stuff, but it's a little too high for me to use in the video. Maybe something is arriving, or something you've been waiting for is coming. I use everything that comes through in a reading as a sign. Also, it's that three of, where's that? I always feel like this is also that sometimes you are in that waiting energy, and a package or something is, where is it? Right around the corner, right within reach and arriving. So what are you doing that is, I feel it like it's active waiting. What are you doing with yourself in the meantime? Having that knowingness that something amazeballs is coming in. So be grateful. You have much to celebrate. You know, sometimes this is the wedding. This is that, I heard day at the beach. Deep feelings of peace and happiness and a contented personal life. She's got her toy. She really wants attention. So if any of you have dogs, they're probably going great right now. Rose, hey, excuse me. So if this is upside down, it's really desiring something, or knowing that there is something within reach that you can change, and you don't do the change. And oh my gosh, she's Rose. Hey babe, bring it over here and I'll throw it. Oh, that's not a thing. Oh, she never even plays with that toy. Rose. Oh my goodness. All right, so let's sum this up. Maybe I need to go grab her toy. No, I'm gonna be right back. That's the toy she was playing with. She never pulls that one out of her toy box. So I'm gonna wait. You're gonna be a good girl, and you have to wait like 2 more minutes. We're gonna get one more final message for you guys from the universe. What is the, wow, that was so quick. What is the final message for the collective? Please and thank you. I love this. So what is meant for you? What is that, you know, that path that is glowing, that connects to your soul, is what is meant to be yours is already. That's the same message that is coming through. It's already making its way to you. What was never yours is starting to flee from you. With time, it will all make sense. For now, where's your panda bear? Where is it? It's up here somewhere. For now, it's under the butt of the dog toy. Bear the confusion and focus on living fully in the present. Don't let your whole life be, I'll be happy when. Are you putting your happiness on hold, or are you starting today? Because happiness is very much a choice. Situations sometimes are confusing, sometimes they're weird, sometimes everything doesn't work out according to plan. But you can choose to change your mindset or how you see a situation. You can choose to add and embody and experience more things that do make you happy, that make your soul feel alive. Be happy now. With this, I bid you adieu. I love you so much. going to give that back to Rose, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you for giving this reading a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Thank you for being part of our soul family, and I look forward to seeing you very soon. Bye.